What's your strongest evidence that he's breaking the mold?
His previous term, and the things that he said about Gaza. Look, whatever you think about the plan in Gaza, it did a couple of things. First, it forced the Arabs to respond. I love that one. Arabs said, oh no, you can't displace Gazans. Gaza is their home. And I remember thinking, oh wow, that's news. It's the first time I'm hearing of it, because for the last 75 years, you've been very busy telling us that Gaza is not your home, and that you are a fifth-generation Palestine refugee who will live from the river to the sea. So you're telling me now, as a result of the American president offering this plan, that Gaza is your home? Great, can we lock it in? This will actually promote us to having a Jewish state next to an Arab state.
The fundamental point of disagreement, I think, between Einat and I is that I do recognize that the Palestinian people, over the course of the last 8 decades, were displaced from the homes that they had. That is the case.
Why
it's a fact.
Were they displaced? Why?
Because they lost.
Because they went to a stupid war with the headline of no Jewish state.
The people that went to war were the neighboring Arab countries.
No, until May 1948, it was the local Arabs who went to war with the declared purpose of no Jewish state. That's why
the Jewish
they could have had an Arab state next to a Jewish state.
The Jewish people were displaced from the land of Israel 1,800 years ago. And we wandered all over the world. And wherever we went, we longed to return to Zion. And we said next year in Jerusalem. We never gave up the dream of getting back to that home. We lost a war in 70 AD, right? This was a expulsion militarily. It's 1,800 years later, and we're still saying we have a right to return home. For Palestinians, it's much more raw. Some of them are still even alive who left their home. Not many at this point, but the generations that follow them remember where their families are from. If you tell them they don't have rights, if you tell them they don't have a future, that they don't have freedom, they will never have equality, they will never have justice, then they will never give up the fight. And that is a formula for undermining Israel's long-term security and its place in the world and its relationship to the American Jewish community. That is the future they're condemned to if you insist on saying they have to lose and give up.
No.